Hey guys, TJ
This is Brian.
with Team Stomping Grounds, and we're bringing you our very first Ordo Narratus videos. Alright, what these are going to be, guys, these are fluffy videos. Now, I know we are known for our competitive aspect of the game.
Lord Inquisitor Myers, tell us about your fluff.
But what we're going to do with these guys is we're going to go into some of the fluff from, well, the supplements, because they provide a lot of the good fluff and character-specific fluff. So that, you know, people who are only interested in the competitive sort or haven't read through all the stories can at least learn a little bit something new. And, well, some of us have been chomping at the bit to do some fluffy stuff. And shh, I know Matt doesn't like the
But honestly, just like a side note, there are a lot of the historical reenactment battles in these books, and they're a different sort of challenge because you're given the tools to solve its specific problem there.
Exactly. And tonight we're going to go over my favorite, Ghaz. We're going to go through the Ghaz supplement. Now, this is the special edition. So
this is how you spell Ghaz in Orc.
Yeah,
it's just a fist.
Anyway, we're going through Ghaz. We're going to start off with his story, and that's how all these are going to work. The first video is going to begin with the beginning story, and we're going to lead up into what is the first battle of the book. We're going to do a battle report for you. It's going to be more fluffy than normal. It's not going to go into the intricacies of the game itself, but we're going to describe the story throughout it. And then we're going to have about 4 battles, and then a final video to pretty much bring you up to snuff with where the characters are now and what's going on. So, prepare yourselves as we start here. Now, today, we're going over the Ghaz supplement. Wag Ghazghkull.
What's his full name, though?
His full name is Warboss Ghazghkull Mag Uruk Thraka.
Thank you, J.R.R. Tolkien.
He is the biggest, the baddest, the nastiest, the smartest orc warboss in the galaxy of Warhammer 40k.
Yeah, it's something we usually don't go over, like how smart an orc is.
Yes. Orcs tend to not be very smart. Ghaz is ridiculously intelligent for an orc. So,
he's actually pretty ridiculously intelligent when we get to when he fights the Imperial Guard. We'll see
just
how smart he is versus some of the Imperial commanders.
So we're going to, the first thing with the book, we're going to go through the story. See, now Ghaz, like all orcs, started off as a boy. Started off as a lowly boy. They started on his home planet was originally called, no, not Urukius.
Oh, right.
Urukius. This was originally a planet that was colonized in the Dark Age of Technology, or before that. It was colonized by humans, got overrun by orcs. It was the home for an Eldar outpost. It was swept of the orcs at one point by the Dark Angels, and this happened several times over the millennium. 2,000 years after the Horus Heresy completed, the orcs began to repopulate. As humans came back to the planet, the orc spores, which can lay dormant for centuries, began to reproduce. They realized it. Well, they didn't realize, but they noticed that there were other things on the planet, and well, when the orc spores can feel that, they start to populate. Orcs come from mushrooms. Mushrooms start to populate in the
psychic mushrooms.
Yes, psychic mushrooms. The deeper, darker places of the planet, and eventually that a full-scale orc invasion. The planet was overrun by orcs. The only things that were left were secret Dark Angel bases on the planet where they would come to pretty much wipe the planet clean. Because once you have an orc wog going, you can't. It's really hard to stop one.
Would you really call it an invasion? Because I don't know. They're already there at that point.
Well, it wasn't an invasion. They swept it clean. That's what they did. They got rid of all of the humans. There were several hive cities and things like that. They were able to kill all humans and, well, repopulate the planet. And we essentially got a Gorka Morka situation going. Where they were essentially trapped on the planet. They had not progressed their technology enough to really get off planet. As this was going on, there was a Goth warband running across the planet. They eventually came upon one of those Dark Angel outposts with automated guns for defense. They went up there looking for any scrap they could sell for teeth, because teeth is their currency.
Literal teeth.
Literally teeth. So they went up there looking for scrap, as all orcs do. They look for scrap. That's how they make their stuff. And when they came upon the automated turrets, a lowly orc boy was shot by one. That orc boy's name was Ghazgul. He was shot in the head.
Well, all over.
Yes, literally shattered half of his skull and some of his brains. All right. Unlike any other orc where that would happen to, he got back up and walked his way back to the Death Skull camp with the assistance of other boys, holding his brains in at the same time with both hands. They brought him to another very well-known orc special character, Grotsnick. Mad Doc Grotsnick. Now, these two both originated on the same planet. Grotsnick took him in, which the Goth Warband traded Ghazgul in for experiments, so he could be experimented on.
Yeah, Grotsnick just buys practice dummies.
Essentially.
Except they're real dummies.
Yes. They traded him for 3 teeth and a chopper. A new chopper. And, well, Grotsnick went to work. It was very surprising to Grotsnick, where at one point Ghazgul sat straight up. It was surprising to both of them because he was alive. After this, though, after he snitched his brain back together and covered his head up with his now adamantium skull, which he's famous for, he essentially came back to life and he started hearing voices. And he felt these voices were the orc gods, Gork and Mork. Not Gork and possibly Mork this time. It was both of the big green orc gods. So he starts off on trying to essentially gather all the orcs together. Where he goes throughout the planet. He just gathers orcs to his thing. First thing that happens is when he walks out of the tent, essentially a new orc, he encounters the Death Skull chieftain. I believe it was just a big boss knob, but essentially comes upon a chieftain, and, well, they didn't like that there was a Goth in the camp. So Ghazgul does the only thing he can do, and he headbutts him to death. Thus cementing him as in charge. Takes over that camp, gets the Goths back from his original warband, and then he starts going across the planet to start to assemble the orcs. To bring them all under his control. And the prophesized prophet of Gork and Mork to unite all of the orcs around the galaxy for one great wog.
It's also very interesting to see a lot of the psychic power in the orc physiology at work in this book. They go really in depth to it. You see sometimes that there's just a lot of, they call it wog energy building. And the orcs are, I guess, subconsciously or psychically, they have a network. Not quite like the Tyranids, but it lets them know which boy is needed when. Like, oh, there are not enough mechs. A mech will grow. This boy is, winning a lot of fights. He grows bigger into a knob. And you see how Ghazgul, he starts off small, and he gets bigger and bigger. The more people he headbutts in, the bigger a boss he becomes, and that's how you start a wog.
Ghazgul essentially becomes the largest orc war boss
ever
in the galaxy, though it is theorized the largest orc war boss is about the size of a planet. Though this has never been found. That's second edition stuff.
Right.
But
well, they own like a warp storm to themselves. Yeah, like their own Eye of Terror.
But the orcs do grow until there's somebody big enough to stop them. Guys technically should still be growing, but yeah, that's funny to think about, right?
Yeah, but he's like missing. He like at the end he has Mega armor and like robotic parts.
Not a lot, just his head and his eye.
Oh, okay.
But it even says that Ghaz got clarity of vision on that day. Not actual vision, because even to this day he says that his mechanical eye is still a bit fuzzy. But he then goes to conquer, and what this first battle report is we're going to show you guys is going to be Ghaz conquering the other orcs. So it's going to be an orc versus orc match with myself and Brian. Then we're going to move on to the other battles. It's going to go through Armageddon, the War for Armageddon 2, the War for Armageddon 3, and then a fight with the Tyranids.
Leviathan, yep.
Yes, the strings of Leviathan. So
we're supposed to lose these battles, right?
You don't have to, but I'm going to have a distinct advantage because I will have Ghaz.
For free, right?
For free.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Well, sit back, guys. I hope you enjoy our new series, and stay tuned for more.